Hi everybody. So first off, sorry about the last few days, not making videos. Life gets a little crazy sometimes, and I'm sorry that I kind of fell short on my promises with you, but I'm getting back in the swing of things today. As I'm sure you've all heard, there was a bombing in Boston today. I know there's a lot of attention being given to it right now. I recognize this as a great tragedy. An act of violence against anyone is wrong, no matter what. There is no justification for violence. What happened today was a tragedy. Any loss of human life is a tragedy and should be treated as such. But I think it's also important to remember that we're not the only country who experiences something like this. In fact, compared to other countries who experience these large-scale acts of violence, we're pretty far down the list. It doesn't happen as often here as it does other places. And I'm not just talking about third world countries. I'm talking about fully developed countries where these occurrences are everyday things. And while yes, I recognize that today was a horrible tragedy and that there are two families who will never see their loved ones again, I also think it's important for us to remember that this type of thing happens all the time without our notice and without our caring or involvement. As Americans, I feel that we're afforded the privilege of circumstance that we're in a place to be able to help, and yet we do nothing. And if nothing else comes from this tragedy, maybe it will allow other Americans, other citizens of the world, other human beings to reach out and empathize and sympathize with the plight of others who experience these acts of violence and terror on a daily or nearly daily basis. I think that our generation needs to open up our eyes and become a more empathetic, living, breathing force for good. And I know that sounds very silly and cliche, but if you're in a position to ease the suffering of another human being and you look the other way, there's something wrong inside you. And I know that by some, my viewpoint will be judged as harsh or as cold or unfeeling toward the victims of this attack. But to that, I counter, how harsh and cold and unfeeling are you to have gone without noticing countless other attacks of violence against your fellow humans? So please do what you can to get involved and help the human race evolve as a species to be a more empathetic and more caring species. I will put some links down here to places you can check out to do a little world good. And I'll also leave some links down there if you'd like to do some good to donate and help out with the charities and stuff going on in Boston. So that'll be down here. Check them out and do what you can to be a better citizen of the world and a better human being to your fellow man/woman. So that's my thoughts. See you guys tomorrow.